Everyone is on their respected team. Gandhi joined by Duff, the Duff Man.
The Duff of Duff Men. And finally, it looks like we've got everybody here. We're going to get things started. Of course, we got to start things out on the OpTic side. And we're going to be on board with Killer here, helping out. We're going to watch that cross map, as typically you're going to see players push that strip right off of spawn and then work his way into pawn here, or into diner to make sure a possible C over rotation is going to work out for OpTic.
Yeah, there's a lot of times for people on this when they have the C flag, they like pushing on A and trying to get that flip. But funny thing about Killa is, Killa, you wouldn't guess it, but he's like a super intelligent player. When you talk to him, he's very, very smart. And he kind of told me, he was like, for domination, I was trying to overthink it so much, and now I just say push. Everyone just push some side and just work together, and it seems to be working out for him. But, my big question mark here has got to be Ricky. Ricky going into X Games, I think we all saw him play a total of like one game.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my player to watch throughout this entire series.
He's got to show up. Obviously, everybody does, but when you're having one player struggling your team, it's gonna be costly. Right now, though, B flag remains in nobody's control as both teams just held on to their home flag. OpTic Killa last alive as 3 go down from OpTic. And XGN's going to try to gain a little bit of map control here and gas and top on.
And here comes Ricky now. Ricky has one, cleans him up. He knows there's a guy top on, but he has to get these guys off of B. I don't think there was a trophy system down there to gobble it up, and there is, and so that nade's going to be waste. And now here comes Money B. Yeah.
Big kill on B flag, so that'll still remain neutral here in the first 2 minutes of the game, which you don't typically see. Killa pick up a kill, but an answer right back as both teams will trade. 4 down for XGN, and now OpTic, led by Money B, will hop on this B flag.
Yeah, and there's the trophy system there. They're not actually going to 2-cap this, which is a little bit questionable, but at the same time, if you look at their positioning, they're basically preventing XGN from doing any kind of a flip. Down goes one guy, Money B, forced to have his head on a swivel, has one guy bottom broken, down he goes, and that's 3 dead for OGN.
I love this play by XGN, over-rotating to that A. Unfortunately, Killa will be able to pick up J-Rich very quickly. In the meantime, though, B will fall into the hands of XGN just as quickly as OpTic was able to capture it. But all 4 down yet again for XGN, and that B flag will go right back into the hands of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, Miracles just had a ridiculous 3-piece there in the kill feed. I totally missed it. It's whatever. So he's got a guy in gas. Down he goes. We're going to jump back over to Money B. See what he can do here. This is actually a very, very good spot for him because, when you don't have C flag, your main job is to get control broken. You have to get control broken, whether it's the Humvees or whatever, and Money B having an AR top broken, perfect spot for him.
He's honestly in the best position he could possibly be in right now because look at all the arrows pointed at him on the minimap. XGN cannot forget about him causing all this trouble, and he's just going to stay alive as long as he can. Doesn't necessarily need to challenge as many gunfights because everyone's looking at him. It's easy for the rest of his teammates to pick up those kills, and now they're just getting all this dead time on A and B, and they're going to rack up these points. Currently, 44-36, just over a couple minutes left here in the first side.
Well, they should be able to lose B here as Money B is going to rotate. They completely forgot about him here. He has one. Can he make it 2? He does. And that's going to be 2 more guys coming out of gas. He does have a teammate. That's going to be Ricky capping C, and now he's going to rotate because he's out of ammo. He is putting on a clinic, but Ricky, 14-5, shredding everything in his sight onto Miracles.
Finally, he goes down. Miracles, though, going to continue to force the pressure here. Spots a player, bottom gas, and he gets cleaned up pretty quickly there by UGK. And now 2 players make it 1 player. Money B last alive for OpTic and XGN. Very well. That was a great push.
Yeah.
Trapped in their spawn, pushed out together, and now they've got control of the map, and they're going to go ahead and take this B flag right back.
Yep, 80 seconds left remaining here. Taking a look. I mean, XGN showing a little bit of life here. This is a good play. As long as he can win 1 gunfight, as soon as he hops on this A flag, he should be rewarded it. And there's one. Now he just has to expect a guy coming up from top, and he does. Oh, the Spidey sets it. He turns away.
Horrible timing, but he'll get cleaned up by Killa. But I love the play on A. Now they've got control of it. OpTic needs to gather it, and now it's just a 15-point game where OpTic was up by over 20 to start things off. But less than a minute left, and XGN's looking good to at least tie this up.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to definitely chip away at the lead here.
Sure.
OpTic Nation, this is a team who has struggled on this game type, so it's not very surprising. Some teams kind of prefer C over A, and when I say some teams, I think that I would say probably the majority. So giving that OpTic Nation will be switching to that side, you kind of have to favor him. But with the last 30 seconds, this is going to be much closer than what we originally saw happening.
Check out Ricky, Mr. Ricky Rose. We talked about how if he goes off, OpTic's going to look good. Look at him at the top of the leaderboard there, 15-8 with a couple of captures, and now he's got that Remington out where he's starting to shine. and continue to flex that control. B flag obviously fell back into the hands of OpTic, and it looks like they're poised to close out this first round with 2 flags to their name, as well as a comfortable, not necessarily comfortable, but a decent lead heading into the second side of OpTic.
Yep, so it's going to be a 13-point lead here, assuming the final tick doesn't happen, and it doesn't. So just like that, 80-67 now. OpTic Nation has 5 minutes of gameplay before they go up 1-0 in the series as it stands.
Ricky and Money B just getting
right.
all the slaying done, all mid-map. There was a really huge moment where they had all of XGN trapped behind the garage right on their flag, and the fact that they were able to hold that for about 45 seconds really allowed them to take back that control that XGN gained right before.
And, I want to highlight Miracles here right off the rip, just because, as being the sub player on Octane, when you have 2 ARs and then you have Killa, who's basically the third rotating, it is very unlikely that he ever goes positive on this game type. His main job is going to be neutralizing flags, hopping on B-Dom, and basically being bait for his team. I mean, you can just see by the push here from OpTic Nation that, they have 3 ARs off the rip. So Miracles, he's just basically being fished right now.
On board with Money B is going to be pushing bottom. Motel's going to spot a player on the ground, cleans up J-Rich, and finds a second on B-Dom. And now, as 3 go down for XGN, check out Money B getting aggressive on that A flag while everyone hops B. I love it. On the opposite side, though, you've got somebody from XGN hopping that C flag. Yeah,
that's going to be Nelson, and this was very, very random spawns that just actually happened here. OpTic Nation was not expecting that. They had 1 guy, XGN had a guy spawn strip, they had 2 guys spawn front diner, and that was basically the perfect way to stop them from getting any kind of control of A and B at the same time. So XGN using the spawns to their advantage here, as now they are going to be taken up in OpTic Nation. Ricky, 20-9, he is destroying.
Gonna get shut down there finally by J-Rich. And now it's a 2v2, but that B flag neutral. Both teams a flag to their name, but it's OpTic with the lead here, 94-82. And XGN's gonna have to play this very carefully. The thing that XGN's got on their side right now, Gandhi, is they've got time. They really only need to cap 2 flags and hold them for the rest of the game. They're gonna take a big lead. And as they hop on this B flag, it's actually gonna be Miracles with a nice Kobe to remove him. And they're going to keep that flag neutral. Finally, though, OpTic's looking to force a little pressure on the spawn.
OpTic Nation relies heavily on Miracles and Money B kind of winning these battles mid-map, because, as you can tell from Killa's gameplay, his main job is to lock down the far right side and kind of anchor for his team as he gets 2 knives. And I'll tell you what, Killa is one of the first people who realized that the knife in this game was quicker than the gun. Like, when you're up close, he was just... So he always worked on that. Has one, almost able to make it 2 there if he could have got on him. Ricky sitting in his bird's nest, just kind of hanging out.
And this is where Ricky shines. If he can get into any power position with an AR, it's game over. And that's what he's been able to do, at least on the first side, and struggle a little bit on the second side, but he's starting to do it again here. 21-10, and now he's just going to back things up, knowing that his team doesn't have control of that right side of the map. And Money B will continue just going off, slaying, finally shut down there by Nelson. But 23-16, he's got 4 caps, he's doing it all. And check out OpTic, 117-97, a comfortable 20-point lead. This is their game to lose, guys.
Yeah. We have 2 minutes left on play here. XGN basically needs to, if you're XGN looking at the spawns here, you really want to flip and go straight to A. You have to do it.
Have to.
I would just smoke right at the motel and just push, but at the same time, it's scary because as soon as you're going for A, you're going to force them to spawn strip, which if you're looking at the mini-map is going to be the bottom left, and it's a straight, easy shot to C. So it's a risky play. It relies heavily on gun battles, but it works.
It's a gamble, but at this point, I say you take it.
Yeah, you have to.
You're down. You have a minute and 40 left. You just need to make something big happen, and as 3 go down for XGN yet again. Ricky Rose is going to be hopping on that flag. He gets shut down from behind. There's Miracles there to clean up with a nice headshot, and he'll hop that C flag. They're going to go for a little triple cap here.
Yeah, and he's going to have 1. Isn't able to take that down there, and now Money B gets cleaned up in the middle of the map. Here comes Ricky. Ricky does have a guy right in front of Pawn. Final 90 seconds here. We're going to have to see him really push a 3 cap hard. And Ricky's able to get that nade kill. They actually gave up on running trophies on B. Very questionable.
You talk about switching classes late game. Maybe they wanted to pull out a smoker. They wanted to pull out something to try to counter, and it just didn't work out in that situation, hopping the B flag. But Ricky will capture that B flag yet again. 2 flags to OpTic Nation's name. Currently 144-109, and they've just been going off. Everybody dropping them 20 bombs. On the opposite side, though, you've got a few players struggling there.
Yeah, you can't really have a guy go 8-27 on Octane domination, or really almost any game type. I think the worst ratio I've ever seen was 7 and 27 from Sensor, and they were able to win this map, but on Blitz. So,
oh my God.
If it's Blitz, maybe, but even still, triple negative,
no caps.
Not a good thing. Yeah.
If you had 3, 4 caps, it kind of makes sense playing the objective. But right now, I think it's Lyrics is just getting shut down, or Lurks. Miracles with a knife there. 20 seconds going to dwindle down. OpTic Nation obviously going to be your victors here on map number 1. And they're going to take the lead in this best-of-3 series, 1-0 over XGN Sailguns.
Yep, 5 seconds left in play by the time I finish the sentence. And we are going to see OpTic Nation. We're going to see OpTic Nation game number 1 here by a 46-point lead.
Big win.
This is, I really don't see any scenario where XGN can really come out hot in this search and destroy, but it is the open bracket. It is a possibility, but it's going to be very, very difficult for them.
I'll say this about XGN. At least online, they're great at S&D. At least online, they are
Keyword, online.
I mean, you have to differentiate it. LAN and online. If you're not familiar, if you guys don't play competitive, it is so different. There's different strategies that come into play, but you can bet, especially with Killa and Money B on that team, they've got some strats on deck.
Yep, so we're going to hop to a quick commercial break. When we come back, search and destroy.